Good afternoon. My name is Tammie Roach. I am married to Sean Roach, who is also a career educator. I'm the mother of 3 children. Harris Roach, who's a college student. She'll be turning 20 this year. I'm so proud of her. She attends Claflin University. And then I have 2 sons who are 8th graders at Marietta Middle School, Sean and Shane Roach. I'm very proud of them as well. They're both soccer players and they do well academically. What motivates me? The folks I just mentioned, my family. I'm so very proud of all of them. My husband, my kids, even our dog Pepper. They motivate me to get up every morning, to work hard, to be positive, to stay uplifted, and just make sure that we're moving in a positive direction as a family, and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and pulling people along on the journey. So they motivate me, and life motivates me. I see life as just such a positive entity. We're all here for a reason. We're all here for different reasons, and I think that if we are all collectively positive, we can make the world that we live in a better place, person by person. And I also think that we're responsible for reaching back and helping each other. Also, when it comes to motivation, I'm highly motivated by having my mom still very close in my life. My mom is like my best friend. And even though we don't always get along because we have that mother-daughter thing, she really inspires me to do the right thing. I'm also blessed to have my in-laws just one door away. I find them as very inspirational, and they're also very helpful. So they help motivate me to be the very best that I can be. And I thank all of them for also being a part of my life. When it comes to what I do in the community, as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, I'm always involved in community service. However, as an educator, I have always strived to work very closely with helping students to eliminate excuses. Immediately when I took on the role here as assistant principal, I noticed that we have a uniform policy. However, I found it very difficult to enforce a uniform policy without having the tools to enforce it. So I tried to think of a way to help. Hence, we came up with the Blue Devil Express. And basically, that is where students who come to school not dressed appropriately in uniform attire are able to go there, get what they need, and become dressed so as to avoid going to ISS for the day or missing class. We're able to give them what they need, and then they can keep on moving for the rest of their day, get their education, and be in class. Students also have the opportunity to get any kind of resources they need, be it pencils, backpacks, paper, any kind of materials that they may need that will help them along the way to get to class and focus on their schoolwork. So that is my main goal now here at Marietta Middle School, to eliminate excuses. So a student can't say, well, I can't go to school today because my uniform is dirty, or I can't go to school today because I can't find my khakis. We take care of all of that. I would say my greatest accomplishment is found in the number of students that we serve, and also when we look at the number of students who have not had to go to ISS, we have a tremendous decrease in the number of students going to ISS for dress code. I would go so far as to say it has been very close to 0 kids going to ISS because of dress code this year. We have been able to pretty much take care of all of our dress code needs. an educator, my biggest challenge has been in trying to figure out how to help students who we see in greatest need. For example, how do we close the achievement gap? How do we create opportunities for students? How do we make students feel that this school does not just belong to students who are in our magnet program, but it belongs to all students? I see that as a challenge. So in working very closely with my behavior interventionists, we've also taken the time this year to create what we call many different incentives. We have our recuperators here in the 8th grade, the Roach Coach recuperators, where we recognize students who in the past have had very, very poor discipline records. And we have provided incentives where these students improve, and then once they improve, they become a recuperator. Being a recuperator then creates in them the idea to continue or to maintain good behavior, so that you can be recognized as a recuperator and continue to get the many incentives. For example, over Christmas break, right before Christmas break, we were able to take a group of students to a Hawks game. We've also been able to do some ice cream sundaes for students. It's been very exciting, but to see how students respond to us has been absolutely awesome. And to see students buy into this attitude of I too am Marietta is what we really want. I think the best way to put the future into perspective is to stay on top of the latest trends and understand what makes our students tick. Be it technology, what's the latest gadgets, what's the latest social media concept, is it TikTok, is it Snapchat, is it Instagram, what are the kids into? Keeping the future in perspective is staying on top of the times, making sure that we remain relevant, but we also understand what makes our kids tick and stay on that trend. Don't get stuck in our ways. Just because we may like something, we may like a gadget that is 6 months old and they're into something new. We've got to open our eyes and get on the new train that the kids are on. I want to be known as a change agent. I want to be known as someone who helps somebody along the way. I don't have to be known for receiving an award. I just want to be known when people hear my name as being able to say, wow, she helped me. She helped my cousin. She helped my nephew. She did something good. That is what I would like for my gravestone to read. She did something good, and she helped other people as she was doing good. It's important to be involved because this is where we live. This is where we work. This is where we want to maintain. And if you're just going to sit back and complain about things, you're not helping things. Also, it's important because our future lies in the hands of our children. And I'm not just talking about my biological kids. I'm talking about young people, period. Instead of talking about misbehavior, I want to be the one who helps to guide students and help them understand why misbehavior is inappropriate. Also, if we're going to talk to them about going to college, I want to be one of the ones to help introduce them to what college is going to expect. Even before we get there, what high school is going to expect, what they need to expect of themselves in order to be successful. I think oftentimes we take for granted so that you just don't sit back and point fingers and wonder why everything is wrong. You help change it, and you change it one life at a time. Also, it's important because our future lies in the hands of our children. And I'm not just talking about my biological kids. I'm talking about young people, period. Instead of talking about misbehavior, I want to be the one who helps to guide students and help them understand why misbehavior is inappropriate. Also, if we're going to talk to them about going to college, I want to be one of the ones to help introduce them to what college is going to expect. Even before we get there, what high school is going to expect, what they need to expect of themselves in order to be successful. I think oftentimes we take for granted that young people know, and often they don't know. So it's important to be involved so that you just don't sit back and point fingers and wonder why everything is wrong. You help